Panthers at Falcons. Give me a player to watch in this game.
It's about Devonta Freeman. Devonta Freeman is the most important player on the Falcons offense. He's kind of the guy that makes it go when it comes to their running game. When I look at Devonta Freeman, he hasn't necessarily played up to expectation because he only has 2 100-yard games. In this game, they need him to be a factor. He not only has to be a factor as the runner, but he has to make some plays in the passing game. Matt Ryan is going to need him to provide some balance because if he does, then I think they'll be able to get to Julio Jones and some of the other weapons in the passing game.
Yeah, and you look at this Carolina team, Bucky, they need some help. They win this game, get some help. There's a chance they could end up getting a first-round bye. Atlanta, it's pretty simple. They win, and they got a chance to get into the postseason. So that's going to be interesting to watch with a lot on the line here. I'm going to go James Bradberry as my player to watch for the Carolina Panthers. I think he's kind of quietly become one of the better young corners in the league. He can play physical at the line of scrimmage, match up with bigger, more physical wide receivers, which he's going to see in this game, no doubt, with the Atlanta Falcons, and he plays the ball really well down the field. I think he's an outstanding player. I think he's going to be a key guy to watch in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think he is an outstanding player. I think their defense has played terrific. One thing that has changed about the Carolina Panthers defense is they're playing more man-to-man, a little more aggressive on the defense coordinator, Steve Wilks. They're going to pressure the quarterback and see if he can hold up, but that means you got to be one-on-one with Julio Jones. Bradberry has played a big role.
All right, who do you like in this game? Pick a winner.
I mean, I think the Carolina Panthers are destined to win this. I think Carolina is the best team. They're peaking at the right time. Cam Newton is on fire. I think this is the team that we need to watch. I think they certainly can make their way all the way to the winner's circle.
I thought the Falcons last week kind of spent themselves a little bit against the Saints. Didn't finish drives. Got stopped multiple times inside the 3-yard line. That was their game they had to win. I don't know if they have enough in the tank left over for this one. I like the Carolina Panthers as well. Jags at Titans. This is 4:25 Eastern on CBS. Give me a player to watch in this game.
It's all about the quarterback, Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota has to step up. This is a win-or-go-home game. We need to see if he can handle the pressure of being that as a franchise quarterback. And he's been a little disappointing this year. When I look at his touchdown-to-interception ratio, he's sitting at a 12 to 15 touchdown-to-interception ratio. That is not what you want to see. But more disturbing is his lack of accuracy and some of the decisions that we're seeing him make from the pocket. He needs to exhibit better judgment. He needs to be on point. And the problem is he's dealing with a Jacksonville defense that is outstanding on the edges. They can rush the pass. They also can lock you down with Jalen Ramsey and A.J. Bouye. We will see if Marcus Mariota is ready to take the next step to being a VIP player at the position, or if the Tennessee Titans need to continue to find a way to support him.
It'll be interesting to see how the Jags handle this game. Not much to play for them. Tennessee Titans, everything to play for, winning in. I still, though, I think this Jacksonville defense, they had their pride challenged a little bit last week against Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers. And Myles Jack would be my player to watch in this game. So many other great players on that defensive front. We talk about the Pro Bowl corners. He kind of gets lost in the shuffle there at the second level. He is an elite playmaker. Get his hands on the football. He's a dynamic blitzer. He can play sideline to sideline. I think he's going to be key in this game, matching up with Marcus Mariota. These two guys, now you remember, they go back to college. This is UCLA, Oregon all over again. Now they see each other a couple times a year inside the division. I think Myles Jack is going to need to have a good game here to keep Marcus Mariota struggling, which has been kind of a struggle for him throughout the year. I'd keep an eye on Myles Jack. All right, who's winning this game, Buck?
The Jacksonville Jaguars. This is an important game. They're trying to build momentum heading into the postseason. They already got a playoff sellout. I think the Jags want to bounce back after being embarrassed in San Francisco. I think they win this one. I think they win it big.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the smart thing to do. I can make a case it might be wise just to rest everybody. See this same Tennessee team again next week at home when you're rested and ready to roll. But to me, I'm with you. I think Jacksonville wins this game because they want to get some positive momentum headed into the postseason, get that taste out of their mouth from that San Francisco game. I like the Jags. Bengals at Ravens. Ravens win in their end. There's a lot of other ways they could get in as well, but still a lot to play for them. Bengals trying to play spoiler. This is 4:25 Eastern on CBS. Give me a player to watch here, Buck.
Alex Collins, the running back for the Baltimore Ravens, is the guy to keep your eye on. He is a guy that has really helped this offense kind of come back from a midseason slump. He has been terrific. He is on pace maybe to get 1,000 yards. He has 895 heading to this game. So with a 100-yard game, he would get over that mark. And what he's really done is he's given them balance. When they really commit to running the football and giving them the ball 15 to 18 times, it has really made life easy for Joe Flacco. I think he has to be a guy that is successful early in the game so they can really take those shots down the field to Mike Wallace and others off play action.
He's been a nice find for the Ravens. I'm going to go to the defensive side of the ball for him and go to their leader, TERRELL SUGGS. When they get in important games, doesn't get any more important than this, win and in for the Ravens. SUGGS has a way of stepping up his play and making impact plays, not only getting to the quarterback, but get the football out. On his way to a Hall of Fame, no doubt in my opinion. I thought some people kind of questioned that. Maybe coming into this year, he's a borderline guy. I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer with the sustained success that he's had. A big year for him. I think he steps up in a big way and helps the Ravens. I won't spoil my pick. I'll let you go first here, Buck, but who do you like?
I mean, you're a bit of a homer. I'm going to go to Baltimore Ravens. Their team is playing really, really well. The defense is outstanding. Still looking for that consistency on offense. But look, heading to last week, they had been averaging over 30 points a game their last 7 or so games. And so this is a team that needs to get on track. They're dangerous because they know how to win when they get into the tournament. They'll win this game because they understand how important it is for them to win, to get in.
All right, before I get to my pick, did you just fall off your chair out there, Buck? What happened?
No, I was plugging up my computer. I was losing a little juice, so I went out there and I plugged it into the outlet to make sure I had a little juice.
See, the guys behind the glass were claiming that you fell off your chair. I didn't see it. I know you're a better athlete than that. They didn't have understanding.
No, I was trying to be slick while the B-roll was playing. I was trying to duck down so I could lean and put the thing into the outlet and come back before my beautiful face was back on the screen.
That's a veteran move. I like the Ravens, by the way, as well. I'm going to go with the Ravens for all the reasons you just mentioned. Those teams we just talked about there. You talk about the Falcons, the Titans, the Ravens. Pretty simple for them. Win and you're in. These next group of teams we're going to talk about need a little bit of help, but they got to handle their business first. Raiders at Chargers. The Chargers still alive here, Buck. Need a little bit of help, but they have to take care of the Raiders if they're going to get in here. Who's a player to watch? Who do you like?
Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is the guy to watch. Keenan Allen has bounced back coming off that injury last year. He's reestablished himself as one of the top receivers in the game. Dominant playmaker on the outside, dynamic route runner. He could have his way with these Raiders corners. And even though Sean Smith has played better of late, I think Keenan Allen wins this matchup. He has 1,200 yards coming into the game, 5 touchdowns. I think he has a 100-yard game and has a couple more touchdowns. I think this is a big game. Phillip Rivers is going to target him early and often.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the running back for them, Melvin Gordon. I know he's a little bit beat up. If you can get some balance going. I thought last week the Raiders' defense played at a pretty high level against the Philadelphia Eagles and Nick Foles. I think you're the Chargers. You want to be balanced here. Get that run game cranked up a little bit. Take some of that pressure off Phillip Rivers. I think defensively the Chargers match up very well against the Raiders. But offensively, you talk about Keenan Allen. I think it's the run game. If they can get that going, I like their chances in this game. Who do you see winning it?
I think the Chargers win it. I'm a big believer in the Chargers. I thought the Chargers were one of the best teams in this mix. I think of all the teams that are kind of hovering around that 6 seed, I think this is a team that actually could win games. Their pass rush is going to be too much. I think that is the difference. I think they win by a touchdown.
Yeah, that was the big key in the Raiders' loss last week, that Philadelphia front. Their pass rush got after them. I think the same thing could happen here. I go the Chargers to win this football game. If you're a Charger fan, by the way, keep an eye on that Tennessee game. You need the Titans to lose, and there's a couple other scenarios that you need the Titans to lose. A Titans loss and a Buffalo loss, you're in. A Titans loss and a Baltimore win or tie, you're in. And then if for some reason the Chargers tie, you would need a Tennessee loss and a Buffalo loss. So there's all your complicated scenarios there for the Chargers. Bills at Dolphins, again, 4:25 Eastern, CBS. Player to watch, Buck.
Tyrod Taylor for the Buffalo Bills. Tyrod Taylor is trying to make his coach right for his Nathan Peterman decision. If Tyrod Taylor plays a good game, maybe the Buffalo Bills sneak into the playoffs, and all is forgotten when it comes to Peterman playing against the Chargers. This is a game where Tyrod needs to bring his A game. When you look at the numbers, he's completing 62% of his passes. He has a 13-4 touchdown interception ratio, but he hasn't really been dominant in the game. I need to see him be a dominant player in this game, not only as a thrower, but as a rusher. He has to have a big performance as a dual threat. They're going to need points against what is really an explosive and dynamic defense from Miami.
Yeah, you mentioned Tyrod Taylor. I'll flip it over to the other side of the ball and make KIKO ALONSO my player to watch, because you got to find a way to control Tyrod. You got to find a way to control LaShawn McCoy. You got to have somebody that can play laterally. The Bills love to get on the perimeter in their run game, and that's where a guy like KIKO ALONSO with his speed and range can be a big factor in this football game. So I'm keeping my eye on number 47 for the Dolphins. All right, who do you like winning this game, Buck? The Bills, let me give you their scenario here. They win, the Ravens lose, they're in. They win, the Chargers lose or tie. Tennessee would also have to lose or tie. They'd be in. And then you have Buffalo tie, which is my favorite scenario. You need a Chargers loss plus a Tennessee loss. So a couple different things need to happen there. The easiest way, I would say, is if they win and Baltimore were to lose, they would be in. But who do you like winning this game?
I'm going to say Buffalo takes care of business. Buffalo gets the win. This is a huge game. I think they can find a way to sneak in. I think the Bills get it done.
All right. Everything to play for Buffalo. Nothing to play for Miami. But every year we see something kind of weird happen at this time of year. I think this is that game. Can't give you an exact reason. I just think Miami at home, inside the division, they play spoiler. I think they knock off the Buffalo Bills in this one. Cardinals.
Wow.
I got to go bold.
Jay Cutler.
You got to go
Jay
bold.
Cutler.
Yeah, he's still living in a hotel, man. He wants to leave that hotel on a high note there. I can't imagine the number of hotel points he's got living there the whole season.
He's been killing it. I do wonder. You think it's a Hilton or a Marriott?
I think he's probably a Marriott guy, and I think that the vacation's not going to cost him. Him and Kristen Cavallari can take the kids, and no cost vacation with all those points they can cash in. Cardinals at Seahawks. Player to watch here, Buck?
Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham is the player to watch because Jimmy Graham is the most explosive red zone weapon that the Seahawks have. 10 touchdowns this season, big body playmaker. He does a great job of posting up smallest defenders in the red area. This is a team that has really struggled. Russell Wilson has had to do everything, but Jimmy Graham has been a nice partner in the passing game because they can't run it down in the red zone. They're going to have to find a way to throw it over the top. I think this guy finds a way to get it done. He has to be an alley-oop specialist for the Seahawks to win.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I like that one. I'm just going to make it easy and go to the quarterback. Russell Wilson said he'd have to be Superman last week against the Dallas Cowboys. Actually didn't end up having to be Superman. Their defense stepped up and played really, really well, and Russell was just solid. Didn't have to be special. But I'll keep an eye on him in this game. Everything on the line. You want to try and get in the postseason. You rely on your best player. Russell Wilson, to me, is clearly the best player on this football team. He's one I'm keeping my eye on here. I think he can be a major, major difference maker between these two squads. Everything seems to point towards Seattle. Who knows? Maybe Arizona can spoil it. Who do you like, Buck?
I'm going to go with Seattle. I don't think Arizona has a chance. I think they're not motivated. They're talking about the coach not being there. I think at the end of the day, that's enough to push Seattle over the top.
Yeah, Seattle, if they win and Atlanta loses, they're in. So that's pretty simple there for them.